And welcome again, folks, to my Shell Busey Ask Shell Coffee Break. Today, my topic is about convection heat versus forced air heat. Now, why would I be talking about both of those in the same presentation? Well, let me tell you. First of all, forced air is air that's passing, in most cases, through a duct system like a furnace duct system. But sometimes we request or demand of our forced air system to move air to areas that are a long ways away. And the educational aspect of forced air is one that I'm going to simplify for you today because there's so many homeowners that have a forced air system but with a bedroom that's a way off in the distance, away from the furnace. It may be on a second level, possibly even on a third level. Or it may be a playroom or a recreational room or a party room over top of a cold, unheated garage. Folks, these are areas that forced air can cause a lot of headache, a lot of frustration, and a lot of discomfort. And the reason for it, because the air just doesn't get there from the furnace or the heat pump or whatever type of system that you have feeding the warm air through a duct system. Now, let me give you a little bit of information here that will increase your understanding of moving air. As you can appreciate, when you move air out of a large volume box, for example, out of a furnace into the upper hot air plenum, which is the metal that's encompassing the top of your furnace, and then it's reduced down in size to go out through a trunk system or a duct system where there's now 5-inch ducts running off of in order to heat that room, and that room may not be getting adequate air because air will take the least line of resistance, meaning that as you take air from a large area and move it into a smaller area, it's either going to start backing up or being resisted because of the smaller duct that you're forcing air into. Now what we do, we add elbows. We make corners for that air to turn. Every elbow that you add to a duct pipe, you add 10 feet of duct length. So let's say you've got a 5-inch duct coming off a forced air trunk line, which could be rectangular or even square. And that 5-inch duct is coming off and going into a bathroom or a bedroom. Well, that elbow that you put on in order to get it over to that bedroom or bathroom, that one elbow, 90 degrees, will add 10 feet of duct. But normally you'll put another elbow in order to change direction, to come back, to go around something or whatever the case may be. Then you get to the boot, and that's the boot where the elbow and boot take your air up into the room at the point of the register. So you could have 3 elbows easily. I've counted up to 10 elbows in one length. But 3 will add 30 feet, 3 times 10, 30 feet of duct. Well, if you're feeding air for comfort into a cold area, like a party room over top of a garage, for an example, then you can see why those rooms don't get very warm. So one thing is getting the air there. The second most important thing is getting that air that you're trying to deliver back to the furnace for reheating. It's called return air. So wherever the room air is going back to the furnace, that register, normally in a wall, that return air has to take it back to the furnace, reheat it, and send it back, again, keeping that forced air system flowing. Well, if you don't have a return air, you're going to have a very cold, uncomfortable room. So that's about as simple as I can put it in layman's terms without bringing someone in and or suggesting or recommending you one of our referral network members. For example, if you're in the greater Vancouver area, that would go out to identify that, because there's lots of homes that don't have return air in basements for basement suites or basement recreational rooms. They use the staircase going up to the main level and a door cut off, say, an inch or an inch and a half, so the airflow will come up under the door and find its way back to the return air. Not very efficient, I can say that. A lot of master bedrooms, for an example, today will have their own return air because of the master bedroom door being kept closed at times if somebody is ill. So return air, balanced air is very important. Now, convection. Convection heat is another source of heat or another type of heating. And they normally will hang on a wall, or the simplified convection heat is a baseboard heater, electric baseboard heat. You could have hot water baseboard type of heating, convection. But I'm going to talk about electric convection heat, like a product called Convect Air is one. And you can get more information by simply going to our website. But the interesting part of the convection heat is it is a heating system upon itself, meaning that you have to run the wiring to it. Not very difficult to get wiring to it, because all you have to do is use the duct as the conduit to get the wire to the room where you want the heat. So therefore, if the forced air is not going, you have another choice of running a wire, an armored wire, through that duct and up and then into, because normally where the furnace is, there is your electrical service panel as well. So all of that being said, convection heat now, you're heating just that room, and it's your heating system for that room. That's where you're going to get your comfort from. And that's when I say it's just that easy, folks. So look it up. If you've got the room you can't get heat to, why not consider going convection heat? Hang it on the wall, has its own thermostat, and you end up with the comfort that you're looking for, rather than depriving a system that's trying to do its job, but because of the way it was installed with all the duct and all the elbows, it just can't perform. So take it from me, folks. Consider convection heat. It's just that easy.